Tonight is just going to be me. Our Levitt is actually off on his anniversary, and he told me about it a couple of days ago, but we both kind of forgot to even talk about it yesterday, so this is slightly unexpected, but it should be all right. I'll try to pick up the slack. This is a good game to check out if you want to play something really casual. The idea of this is that you have 2 teams of 4, and then there's this long passage or like hallway sort of thing in between these 2 bases you can see here. Yeah, as soon as you start, you have the ability to build buildings, and the instant you complete building, units start being produced out of it automatically without you really doing anything. And they're also automatically sent to the other side of the map. Basically, it ends up in this tug-of-war battle in the middle. I like to open with 2 sentries, and then zealot, and then 1 more sentry. So you can kind of watch it. It'll go back and forth a little bit sometimes. But for the most part, once it gets going in one direction, it'll just kind of keep snowballing. And so to turn the battle and keep the army from going into your base and destroying your Nexas, then you can use nukes.
Big job, huh?
Each person on the team gets 1 nuke. You want to use it down here in this general area on the lower ground, because once that big ball army comes up here, the radius of the nuke isn't big enough to kill everything. So after the first immortal, usually I'll go down and build a pylon. The pylon grants you 16 extra income. I think it's per time that this timer runs out. Just my own personal opinion, and I've heard differing opinions about this playing this game, but I think it is right. You want to try to save back your nukes as much as possible and turn the tide of the battle any other way that you can first. So some people will get this structure that is used to upgrade your units kind of early, and at that structure you can build these almost like hero units. There's 3 of them corresponding with the different races, and I almost always go with the it's called the Odin, but it's basically this giant Thor, and the Odin has a small mini nuke of its own that it can fire, and a lot of times in the early game that can actually turn the tide of the battle. Oh, and here's another example of something that's good to know about. Each player can build 2 cannons. You can also upgrade them once, and they get bigger and they shoot faster.
Big job, huh?
I've tested this extensively. Carriers aren't actually that good in this game type. Tempests are pretty much where it's at. So it's really good to organize within your team who's gonna nuke next. That guy was trying to call it out and say, I'm gonna nuke next. That actually really helps, because the last thing you want to do is nuke more than once. So I'm just gonna be ready with the nuke here. My teammate's an idiot, basically, was what happened there. I called it out. He still nuked anyway, so. A lot of the time, one mistake like that will cost you the game. I think we're going to be able to fight this back. Might take a second or two though. So for me at least, I don't usually build this upgrade facility where I can get the heroes and do upgrades also until I've maxed out my supply in building production buildings. When you're in a position of advantage like I am right now, and we're kind of pushing them back, now is a really good time to select your pylon and upgrade it so you get extra income per like tick, if you want to call this like a tick. If they start going really heavy into Tempest, it can be a good idea to do like a tech switch and go into all stalker potentially. So you can click on these buildings and then salvage them. So at this point, I am pretty close to maxed out on Tempest, but I'm gonna destroy my first few buildings
Big job, huh?
so I can get extra Tempest. So I like to leave one of these sentries up because it's a detector, but I'll get rid of these immortals. So right now they're starting to push us back and I can't build anything extra because I'm at max. So I'm going to build 3 of these upgrade centers. You can just go to Protoss upgrades and then just start upgrading air. So air weapons, air armor, and then shields. And then I'll just keep doing that.
Upgrade complete.
And actually, I'm gonna prioritize upgrading the pylon right now. Ooh, that hurt. Just my personal feeling is that if you upgrade your pylon sooner, then you'll be able to get your upgrades faster after that because you'll have plenty of money to do it. They're really getting pushed back. They should have nuked already, to be honest, because we're off of the low ground and our army can spread out. Now it's going to be extremely difficult for them to try to fight us off. We might actually win right here. One thing that's kind of nice about this game type is that it doesn't require high APM hardly at all. It's a very casual game and it's still pretty fun. Yeah, we won. Nice. Nexus Wars, at least the one lane 4v4, usually will last anywhere between like 15-20 minutes all the way up to like an hour, maybe even an hour 10. But direct strike, it lasts probably, I don't know, the games seem to go quite a bit faster. Occasionally you'll get a longer game, but it's pretty rare. And you can kind of see this is the same sort of idea where you have armies kind of going across this central hallway sort of thing. All right, so I'm in the middle here. So the first thing I like to do is go check on or just click over here on the mini map, see what we're going against. So Zerg in this case, we can watch our army run across and try to get it's good to check and see what you're kind of up against so you can try to counter that. Our teammate softened them up for us a little bit. That's really nice of him or her. And hopefully we can make it through our wave, so to speak. And we'll even be able to soften up the next wave just slightly. And that's kind of all we're really should be concerned about, in my opinion, is just doing the best you can for your wave. And now that the army is already going across, now is actually a good time to do an upgrade. Because you can't really drop down more units and have them come out right away for that particular wave. And I think I want to save for my tier 2 upgrade right about now. And now since we're to the next tier, we can drop a couple of tanks down. Looks like we're fighting with our ally, and it looks like also they have some swarm hosts, so I am going to get detection because we're probably going to fight those swarm hosts again. Dude, nice. Alright, so I am going to drop the gas right away since we took out the cannon. I used to be a lot more aggressive about upgrading early, but I find that it helps to have like a decent size army before you start upgrading a lot. So I kind of get a decent size army and then upgrade a lot all in a row. It costs 25 minerals to do a scan, but I can scan the other side of the map and get an idea of how much gas that they, or how many gas refinery things that they put down. So I'm going to put down one more because I see he's got 2. So I'm going to try to kind of match him a little bit. It is a bit dangerous to overcommit to building these refineries. So that's why I'm kind of saying, like, try to match them if you're getting pushed back. Looks like we might win this. Oh, it's close. And now, since we are pushing so heavily, like we actually worked that down quite a bit, now is actually a pretty good time to also invest in a refinery. So I'm going to right click on that, so as soon as I get enough money, it'll build one. Oh, it doesn't matter because we actually won. If you guys are interested in playing Direct Strike, there is a really good guide that you can find. If you look up Direct Strike Guide, and then I think it's this one. Yeah, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can look up these 3, like open up pages for each one of these, and then you can look. So Banelings, how to counter Banelings is Terran, Marauders. That's a really good guide, and it's a great way to start playing this game. The song of the day, Skeller Tetsuo. So if you want to look that song up, definitely go ahead. I think this song might be named after the character from Akira, but I'm not sure. Bye-bye for now. I'll see you later.